On S5, Area and Perimeter in the Coordinate Plane, Lesson 1, it's going to ask you to find the area and the perimeter of triangles, rectangles, and squares. But before we begin on the actual lesson, let me review something really quick, and you are going to need these on some of the triangles. Just the triangles, okay? And pretty much only for perimeter of triangles. Well, only for perimeter of triangles. Let me back that up. Now, Pythagorean triples. When did you use the Pythagorean theorem? You used the Pythagorean theorem when you had a right triangle. And what you did, usually they would give you an A and a B, and to use the Pythagorean theorem, you would use it to be able to find C. And you would need C if you're finding the perimeter of a triangle. Now, most of these in this lesson, they're going to be Pythagorean triples, which means you're not going to have you're not going to have to simplify the radicals. You're not going to have decimals. It's going to come out to a nice, pretty round number. So the most common Pythagorean triple is a 3, 4, 5. What that means, if you have a right triangle and this side is 3 and this side is 4, and you know it's a right triangle, then you don't have to use the Pythagorean theorem. You should automatically know that the hypotenuse is 5. And if this is 9 and this is 12, because if you multiply 3 by 3, you would get 9, and you multiply 4 by 3, you would get 12. That being said, you could multiply 5, just a second, let me try to fix this. Five by 3 and get 15. So you don't have to use the Pythagorean theorem on triples if you know what a triple is. And whenever you take the ACT, more than likely you're going to have some kind of 3, 4, 5 triangle on the ACT, whether it be 3, 4, 5, or 9, 12, 15, or any multiple of 3, 4, and 5, put together. So let me erase this because I'm running out of room. Other other Pythagorean triples are 5, 12, and 13. The biggest number is always the hypotenuse, and 8, 15, 17. Okay, so you see these the most, you see this the most, and then this one occasionally. We're going to use those whenever it asks us for a perimeter of a triangle, but other than that, we're not. So let's go on. Okay, it says, what is the area of this square? Well, because it tells me that it's a square, I'm not going to have to do a lot of work, because if I know it's a square, then I know all the sides are the same. So all I need to know is how much from H to I is. So I can either count spaces 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, okay, well that's 6 spaces apart. Or you can figure out where they are. So H is at 4, 5, and I is at 10, 5. Since the Y's are at the same height, how much is it from 4 to 10? Well, you would subtract them, and you would get 6. Hence, 6. And so the area of a square, how do we find area of a square? We know a side, and then we square it. So if I know a side that is 6, and I square it, I get 36. Okay? 36 is the area of that square. Okay, now we're going to perimeter of a triangle. Perimeter is the distance around. So I need to know the lengths of all three sides. So let's see. This one is at -4, 5. This one is at +4, 5. And this is at -4, -10. Okay, so how long is it from U to T? Well, the 5s are the same. So how far is it from -4 to +4? It is 8. From U to V, the x's are the same, so it went from 5 to -10. How long is that? 15. And because I was so nice and already told you that there is a Pythagorean triple of 8, 15, 17, we do not have to use the Pythagorean theorem to be able to figure out that the hypotenuse is 17, because one side is 8, one side is 15, so the hypotenuse is 17. I haven't answered the question yet, but I've gotten there. So what is the perimeter? The perimeter is 8. That's the nastiest 8 I've ever written. Plus 15 plus 17. So 23 plus 17. 40 units long. Okay, area. How do we find the area of a triangle? Base times height divided by 2. Here's the base and here's the height. So I don't need to know what the hypotenuse is on area. All I need to know is the base and the height. So here is from 3 to 10, so that is 7. From -4 to 10 is 14. So the base is 7 and the height is 14, and then I'm going to divide by 2. So I can either multiply 7 and 14 and then divide by 2, or I can reduce the 14 and 7. I'm sorry, 14 and 2, and get 7, and 7 times 7 is 49. Perimeter of a square. So because they were nice enough to tell us that it's a square, all I need to know is how long that is, and then multiply by 4, because all 4 sides are going to be the same length. So if it goes from 0 to 5, so this is 5, so this is 5, and this is 5, and this is 5, and the perimeter is all the sides added up, so I have 4 5s, so the perimeter is 20. Now we have to know the area and the perimeter, and again, they were nice enough to tell us that it was a square, so all I have to do is find one length. So again, you can just count the spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is 4. So this would be 4, and that would be 4, and that would be 4. So the area is side squared, and your side is 4, and if we square it, 4 times 4 is 16. The perimeter is all of them added up. Well, what are we adding up? We're adding 4. How many 4s? 4. So 4 times 4 is 16. And this is the only case whenever the area and the perimeter are actually the same answer. Usually that will never ever happen. Okay, and then we have kind of a word problem. They don't give us a picture. We can draw a picture real quick. D is at 0, -4. E is at 6, 1. And I'm just slopping it down here. And that's E. Okay, and then F is at 0, 1. So now I can see that it made a nice right triangle for us. And so this is going to be the base, this is going to be the height. Base times height divided by 2. Well, how long is the base? The base went from 0 to 6, so this is 6. And this went from 1 to -4, so this is 5. So the base is 6 and the height is 5, and we divide by 2 and get 15.